In the bustling heart of Madrid, where skyscrapers pierced the sky like arrogant fingers pointing to forgotten dreams, Eduardo Vargas paced his opulent penthouse office. The millionaire's empire of luxury hotels spanned continents, but today, his world felt as fragile as the crystal decanter he clutched. The stock market had plunged overnight, wiping out millions in a digital blink, and Eduardo's advisors urged ruthless cuts. "Start with the non-essentials," they said. His gaze fell on the payroll ledger, and there it was. Maria Gonzalez, the cleaner who'd been with him for 15 years. She was invisible, reliable, but expendable. With a heavy sigh masked by resolve, Eduardo dialed her number, steeling himself for the dismissal that would save a few €1,000. Little did he know, this call would unravel the threads of his insulated life and weave them into something profoundly human. Maria's modest apartment in the working-class barrio of Lavapiés hummed with the quiet rhythm of survival. The air carried the faint scent of lemon polish and fresh laundry, remnants of her tireless days. At 52, Maria had raised her daughter Sofia alone after her husband's untimely death in a construction accident. Sofia, now 25 and studying nursing on a shoestring scholarship, often helped her mother with chores when shifts allowed. That evening, Maria lay in bed, weakened by a persistent fever that had gripped her for weeks. The phone rang, shrill against the silence. Sofia answered, her voice steady but laced with worry. "Hola, this is Sofia, Maria's daughter. My mother isn't feeling well. May I take a message?" Eduardo hesitated, the script in his mind derailing. He cleared his throat, his tone clipped and businesslike. "This is Eduardo Vargas. I need to speak with Maria directly." "It's urgent." Sofia's heart sank. She recognized the name from her mother's stories. The stern but fair boss who'd given Maria a chance when no one else would. "Señor Vargas, she's resting. She's been ill, but if it's important—" Eduardo cut in, impatience bubbling over from his day's chaos. "Fine. Then you can relay this." Effective immediately, her services are no longer required. "We'll send her final check by mail. Thank you for your time." The words hung in the air like a guillotine, cold and final. Sofia's breath caught. She glanced at her mother, whose eyes fluttered open at the sound of voices. Anger and desperation surged through her. "Wait, Señor Vargas. You can't just fire her like this. Do you even know who my mother is? What she's done for you?" Eduardo paused, intrigued despite himself. In his world of boardrooms and mergers, personal pleas were rare. "Enlighten me," he replied dryly, settling into his leather chair with a view of the twinkling city lights. Sofia's voice trembled but grew stronger with each word, a dam breaking after years of silent observation. "My mother isn't just your cleaner. She's the one who found your lost wallet in the lobby 5 years ago, stuffed with cash and cards, and returned it without a second thought, even though we were struggling to pay rent. She didn't tell you because she didn't want praise. She just believed in doing what's right. And last year, when your hotel hosted that charity gala for orphaned children, she volunteered her off hours to organize the decorations, using her own money for supplies because she saw how much it meant to you. But that's not all. Do you remember the fire in your Barcelona property 2 winters ago? The one that could have cost lives?" Eduardo's grip tightened on the phone. The fire, a faulty electrical panel, had sparked in the dead of night. It was contained quickly, but the memory still haunted him. "What about it?" he asked, his voice softer now, curiosity edging out defensiveness. "Mama was there late, scrubbing the kitchens after a late event. She smelled the smoke first and pulled the alarm, then grabbed a fire extinguisher and fought the flames until help arrived. The firefighters said her quick thinking saved the building, and possibly your entire chain from bankruptcy lawsuits. She never mentioned it because she hates drawing attention, but I was there when she came home with burns on her hands, refusing to go to the hospital because we couldn't afford it. She's selfless, Señor Vargas. She's given everything to your company, to people like you who never see her. And now when she's sick, really sick, you call to toss her aside like trash?" The line went silent. Eduardo leaned back, the cityscape blurring as memories flooded in. He'd always prided himself on being a self-made man, rising from humble beginnings in a small Andalusian village to Forbes-listed wealth. But somewhere along the way, the humanity had eroded, replaced by balance sheets and bottom lines. Maria's face flickered in his mind, not as a faceless employee, but as the quiet woman who'd once offered him a sympathetic smile during a heated investor call she'd overheard while dusting. The shocking truth hit him like a wave. He'd become the very thing he despised, the indifferent elite, blind to the pillars holding up his empire. "Sophia," he said finally, his voice cracking with uncharacteristic emotion. "What's wrong with your mother? Tell me the truth." Sophia hesitated, then whispered, "Cancer. Stage 3. She's been fighting it quietly for months, working through the pain because losing this job would mean no treatment, no future for us. She's too proud to ask for help, but I can't watch her suffer alone." Eduardo's world tilted. In that moment, the millionaire saw not just Maria's sacrifice, but the web of kindness that connected them all. He thought of his own daughter, away at university in London, shielded from life's harsh edges by his fortune. How many Marias had he overlooked? How many acts of quiet heroism sustained his lavish life? "Don't hang up," he urged. "I'm coming over. Right now." An hour later, Eduardo's sleek black Mercedes pulled up outside the weathered apartment building, a stark contrast to his usual haunts. He climbed the creaky stairs, heart pounding, and knocked. Sophia opened the door, her eyes wide with surprise. Maria, propped up in bed with a faded quilt, looked frail but dignified. "Señor Vargas, what are you doing here?" He entered, hat in hand, the weight of his actions pressing down. "Maria, I came to apologize, and to listen." Over herbal tea brewed by Sophia, the stories poured out. Maria's journey from rural Mexico to Spain as a young immigrant, her dreams deferred for her daughter's sake, the small joys in helping others without expectation. Eduardo shared his own vulnerabilities, the loneliness of success, the regret of lost family time, the fear that his wealth had hollowed him out. As the night deepened, Eduardo made a decision born of profound realization. "Maria, you're not fired. In fact, I'm promoting you to head of staff welfare at my flagship hotel, full benefits including medical coverage for your treatment. And Sophia, your nursing studies? Consider them funded. A scholarship in your mother's name." Tears streamed down Maria's face, not from pain, but from the rare gift of being seen. Sophia hugged him impulsively, whispering, "Thank you for remembering what matters." The climax came in the quiet aftermath. Eduardo drove home under a starlit sky, but he didn't return to his penthouse. Instead, he detoured to a soup kitchen he'd funded anonymously years ago, rolling up his sleeves to serve meals alongside volunteers. For the first time in decades, he felt truly rich, not in assets, but in connection. Maria's battle with cancer became a shared fight. Eduardo visited during her treatments, sharing laughs and life lessons. Sophia graduated top of her class, dedicating her career to oncology, inspired by her mother's resilience and the stranger's turnaround. In the end, Eduardo's empire didn't just survive the market crash, it thrived, infused with a new ethos of empathy. He established the Maria Gonzalez Foundation, aiding immigrant workers worldwide with education and health support. Maria, in remission and stronger than ever, became its ambassador, her story a beacon for the overlooked. Sophia often reflected on that fateful call. One truth can shatter walls and build bridges. And so, in a world quick to divide, their tale reminded everyone, from the streets of Madrid to the villages of Mexico, that kindness isn't a weakness. It's the ultimate power. It transforms the giver as much as the receiver, weaving threads of humanity into an unbreakable tapestry of hope. But the story didn't end there. Eduardo's transformation rippled outward. He began mentoring young entrepreneurs from underprivileged backgrounds, sharing not just business acumen but lessons in compassion. One mentee, a brilliant coder from a favela in Brazil, developed an app that connected cleaners and domestic workers with fair-wage employers, revolutionizing the industry. Maria, fully recovered, traveled with Eduardo to speak at international conferences, her soft-spoken words captivating audiences in Spanish and English. "La verdadera riqueza," she'd say, "no está en el banco sino en el corazón." True wealth isn't in the bank, but in the heart,